For some people, the beach means vacation. For me, the beach means it's time to go treasure hunting. There is such a fantastic variety of seashells to be found on the beaches of Southwest Florida. And today I'm going to take you on a beachcombing walk at Tigertail Beach on Marco Island. We're going to zigzag all over this beautiful slice of heaven to see what kind of treasures are waiting to be found. Beach friends, if you're ready for your weekly dose of beachy goodness, let's go to the beach. So here we are. We are at Tigertail Beach. Now, Tigertail doesn't open until 8 o'clock in the morning, so I can only get here so early. So we are going to make our way down to the beach. The thing about Tigertail is it is a little bit of a walk. On this part of the beach here, you will see there's a lot of buildings and whatnot, but I walk real far, all the way down to the water. I will tell you about a little bit of a shortcut a little bit later. Okay, first thing we're going to do is contribute to the garbage collection. I remove garbage from the beach, and some poor soul is going to have some chapped lips. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Tigertail doesn't open until 8 a.m., so I can't get here any earlier than I can get here. Though the tide is coming in, which is fine, and I do take a longer walk, but I happen to think that this part of the beach is kind of productive, so I make the extra walk to get over here. I will tell you how you can get a little bit of a shortcut a little bit later in the video, but for now, let's see what kind of goodies are here. I'm feeling encouraged because there are shells at least here on the beach, and that means hopefully, fingers crossed, that there's also some stuff in the water. And this little pile looks like I found a jingle. And a calico scallop. So, okay, I think that means it's going to be a good day. Let's just see. Oh, a shiny, pointy, lettered olive. Fantastic. I'm still hunting for that elusive albino olive. I'm still hunting for that. No way. All right, fantastic. So this is a flat. It's not chipped, it's not discolored, it doesn't look pitted. So this is a fantastic find. It is a flat scallop. Looks like Tigertail is already giving me some goodies. Right here we have another lettered olive on the big side. I like to call those whoppers. And it will have all those shells jammed in there. It's just the nature of that shell. So we were supposed to originally get some rain in the afternoon, so it's a little bit cloudy. But as it turns out, it's not going to rain. So we're just going to enjoy a little bit of an overcast day. The sun will be out in a little bit, so I'll enjoy not roasting for a little while. Let's see what other kind of fun things are going to get washed up. Oh, here we have a semele, a white Atlantic semele. And for me, honestly, I only know those because of those little purple streaks. Those shells look like so many other shells. Oh, all right. So this is a juvenile Florida fighting conch. And they are, well, I have a lot of favorites. This is one of them. Just because they're so really colorful. The patterns are just fantastic. And here's a banded tulip. It's a little chipped on the opening or that aperture, but that's okay. When you hold it just like so, looks good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. And a lightning whelk. Fantastic. Love those little shells. I like them bigger, or I like them better when they're bigger, but that's a fine shell. Here's another one of those juvenile Florida fighting conchs. I just love the delicate patterns on them. So pretty. And another, look at this. So this has, like I said, completely different pattern. All different, all so pretty. I just love them. Oh, and another banded tulip that is in great shape. So that is a fantastic find. A lovely banded tulip. All right, I see another something else kind of rolling around. Wow. Okay, so that is another lettered olive. They get to almost 3 inches big, and I'm going to say that's on the bigger size. I don't typically find them that big. A fantastic whopper of a lettered olive. So the southern part of Marco is a little more built up. It's 8:26 in the morning. And where we're headed, it is not built up. More down there. We're not really going to see too many buildings, and that's one of the other things that I really like about Tigertail. Plus the little goodies you find, like this, yet another juvenile fighting conch. I just cannot resist them. Look at the zigzags. Awesome. Oh, yay, a little horse conch. So this is the Florida state shell. And that's why I'm always looking like what's inside it. I'm making sure that the shell is empty, that there's no hermit crabs or the actual snail that created the shell is deceased. And this is another juvenile fighting conch. I cannot resist them. I just can't. And this I was hoping, so it is a lettered olive. It is not albino, and it's also not golden, but it's light. It's like a blonde. So I think it's pretty. I'm going to hold on to that. Okay, and another, look at how dark this is. So it's interesting to see how different the variations in the coloring can be. So that is another real pretty, shiny, pointy lettered olive. And here, let's just put them next to each other so we can see that difference. So they do come in a variety of colors. Again, the one on the left, it's just light. Nothing really too special about it. But this one's really special, because it's orange and it's so pretty and it's zigzags and it's brown and just love them. Right, so this was fun. So I did see 2 of those horse conchs. I wanted to grab this one and I want to wash it off. And while I was doing that, I managed to grab that second one. So here we have 2 of those Florida horse conchs. And I want to point out, see that white stuff on it right there? A barnacle used to be on that shell. It has fallen off, and that is what's left. So if you see that kind of weird white bursty kind of looking pattern, that's because a barnacle used to be there. So we have a barnacle-less Florida horse conchs. Another juvenile, because they're so pretty. Fantastic little Florida fighting conch. And this is a dark seraph. And these also, that's about as big as they're going to get. That one is particularly lovely with all its little bumps on it. And I'm still enjoying the nice overcast day. The water is just beautiful. And as you can see where I am, I'm in the water. So I'm kind of walking along, seeing what is rolling around there. We've probably seen, I don't know, 5 or 6 of these today, and I'm probably going to pick up every single one I see. I just love them. And here's a wonderful little find. So this is a top snail. These are really one of the only shells I can think of that are kind of like a little triangle down here. Really cool little top snail. Wow. Okay, we have another whopper of an olive. Interesting color on that one. All right, only one little shell jammed in there. So yet another fantastic lettered olive. So I wanted to check this out. It looks like other beachcombers clearly have been here and have been decorating. And some of these have like little messages on them. So I think that that's kind of fun. I like when I see these trees and stumps and whatnot just kind of decorated. Beach decor at its finest. And we're going to keep walking that way. See what else is in the water. Now, I'm so crazy. See that mark in the sand there? I made that mark so I could mark my place where I was in the water when I went to go check out the pretty decorated little beach shrub there. And I didn't want to miss 5 or 10 feet. There could have been, I don't know, crazy shells in there. So I marked the beach and then I kind of go back and start from where I left. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, shoot. So that's real cool. That is a piece of a Junonia. So that is one of the really sought after shells of the shellers, but it's just a piece of Junonia. Oh, looky here. Now it's really, really beat up, but I think this is another Sanibel turrid. I had found one a couple weeks ago in really great shape. This one, not so much, but it's literally only, I think, the second one, maybe the third one I've found. So because it's a little unusual to me, even though it's beat up, I'm still going to hold on to that cool Sanibel turrid. And a lightning whelk. Oh, this one's real pretty, nice and lemony. So that is another one of the fun shells we can find here. Oh, that's weird. A juvenile Florida fighting conch. Oh, yeah, I can just go on and on about them. It's so pretty. Okay, now this is actually a cross-barred Venus clam. However, the top layer has completely worn off, and so all that's left is this really smooth little purple piece. So the shell typically looks like that, maybe a little better, and it will have some of that sometimes orange or purple color, but that shell we saw before this was kind of disguised, but it is cross-barred Venus. And that, bam, that is a prickly cockle that has a really lovely color on the other side, like those sherbet colors. So that is a prickly cockle, and that is a calico scallop. Very unusual coloring. I don't normally find them, like a purple and a black. Beautiful calico scallop. And okay, here we have a southern quahog. This I'm real familiar with because this is pretty much all I ever found when I was up in New Jersey, although it was the northern quahog that has that purple on the inside. So we do get them down here. They're called southern quahogs. And it's just a plain old clamshell. I'm not going to collect. I'm just going to show you that we have those here as well. And this itty bitty tiny little orange calico scallop I thought was quite cute. I'm going to add that to the shell bag. Now this is the lip. So that is just a piece of a Florida fighting conch. And I have heard a million times that the ones that have the purple on the inside are really rare. I still am sort of on the fence, although I'm starting to become a little more convinced they might be rare. I'm going to hold on to that little piece of purple. And I did bring a rather large container. I was expecting to find lots and lots of sand dollars. This one is not quite intact. It's missing a little piece. I'm going to leave that for somebody else and keep my fingers crossed that we do come across some other sand dollars. And this is a moon snail. It is a shark eye. There's a couple different moon snails. This is one of them we call the shark eye. There is a shark eye, and then there is a false shark eye. That one, I believe, is a true shark eye. Oh, I love these. So this is a spiny jewel box. The spinier, the better, in my opinion. This one's got some nice little spikes on that. Very cool spiny jewel box. And I was going for the pink, and then, whoa, what do we got right next to it? So I was going for that rose petal talon. And I just love seeing just a burst of pink on the beach. So I do kind of pick those up on the regular. And then this is another one of those flats, just like the flat I found earlier. However, it is rather beat up. It is rather chipped around the edges. If it was the only one I found, I might keep it. But since I do have that better specimen, I'm going to leave that for somebody else. And this is one of the more common shells, frankly, but I just really like them. This is a broad-ribbed cardita. Nice, strong colors, cool pattern. So I just think those are fun, sturdy shells. Ooh, is it empty? Yes. Okay, so that is also another banded tulip. Fantastic. And it's crazy because you go, I don't know, a mile or two south and they're everywhere. It's awesome. Another lightning whelk. Well, it is a lightning whelk. Not intact. I'm going to give that probably about 50% of a lightning whelk. So we're going to leave that here at the beach. I do get tricked quite often, but not by this one. Here we have another really fantastic spiky, spiny jewel box with that big old horn on it. Oh, I just think they're so cool. So yet another real pretty spiny jewel box. And here we have one of the real pretty clams we have. This one's been on the beach for a little bit. This is a calico clam. Beautiful. And another top snail. And it's funny because they tend to come in a couple different variations, but that particular gold color is almost specifically for top snails. They come in that real specific kind of gold color. And this is another one of our very fancy clams, the Sunray Venus. And I like these because obviously you can find them in different sizes, but the variation of the colors and patterns that come on them are really fun. Sometimes they have black accents, sometimes they're kind of pink. I just think they're pretty fancy for some clamshells. And a worm snail. So it looks like when these critters were alive, they kind of intertwined, and once they deceased, they stayed that way. So I've never found one intertwined like that. So that is a worm snail. Now, whenever conditions permit, this is where I like to be, kind of walking right in the surf there, kind of picking the things out of the surf. So that is my favorite. I'm happy it's warm again. Yay, it's 76, so now that tide is coming in, but I'm not freezing my tail off anymore. So it's nice and tolerable and certainly lovely. I'm having a good old time. There are plenty of shells to go through, and let's just take a peek. Let's get a closer look and see what's here. So we have a juvenile prickly cockle, we have a surf clam, and here's another surf clam. This guy, that's a ponderous arc, and the arcs you will find in abundance. They're very sturdy, kind of thicker shells. That's another ponderous arc. And the slipper snails, you're going to find those in abundance most likely as well. So that's pretty much what we got here. Here's another one of those similes. And again, that's the clue for me, that little purple on the inside. And another one of those broad-ribbed carditas. So plenty of fabulous shells here. We're kind of hunting for the more unusual ones. So we're just going to keep it moving. See what else we can find. All right, I did see something for sure, and that's what I'm waiting for here. And there it is. It's just a piece, though. I was really bummed because the color is gorgeous. So this is a piece of an alphabet cone. And one of the reasons they call it an alphabet cone is because of the letters in the pattern. Here you see an N, and here you see an X. And on different ones, you will see different letters. So that is why that is called an alphabet cone. Now, this is an awful pretty view. I think I'll be quiet and let you have some beach time. Now, this was interesting. This is a cut. So the island has been cut through by the Gulf. It is now pushing through. This did not used to be here. So that is a little unusual. And let's just talk about, this seems like a good time to talk about where we are. So this is Marco Island. We are going to be exploring the northern part of Marco Island. So let's just zoom into that. So this is where we're going to be. And that cut that we just saw, I suspect it's somewhere around there. So as we're going along, we're going to have to go through that. Just keep that in mind. If you're going to be coming here, you definitely don't wear your sneakers. You're going to be getting wet. Now, once we zoom in again, this is Tigertail where you're parking. I parked over here and I walk all the way around this. It does add a lot of time to your trip. You can take a shortcut through the lagoon here. There's a little path and it will shave off probably a good 20 minutes each way from your walk. So if you really just want to get to the beach, sure, go through the lagoon. I typically don't do it myself, but by all means, you do you. So the tide is coming in here. I was able to get through this cut. You saw the tide was about 1.44. I'm 5'8", so I am a little bit on the tall side. I had no problem getting through. So just, again, keep that in mind. If you plan on staying dry, you want to get to the end, not going to happen right now. Although the beach consistently changes, so you just never know. And as I was checking out what other things are here at this new cut, I found this perfect, lovely 5-hole keyhole sand dollar. Fantastic. I finally got one. Yay. I always at least get one sand dollar when I come to Marco. So that's another little shot of that cut. And I'm certainly not going to let a little water stand in my way. So, we walked right through that, and we're just going to keep on going. Oh, it's so pretty out. And here's some real pretty colors. We have a rose petal talon, that pink one, real pretty orange jingle, and another orange calico scallop. Now this is the same shell, same exact shell. These are both ponderous arc shells. But what was interesting to me was just how different. The black one still has its periostracum, whereas the white one there, it has completely rubbed off. So the beach and just the sand tumbling around rubbed off the periostracum, but it is the same exact shell. So don't always go by color. I'm going to say go for the shapes. That's going to give you the clue. Like this one kind of got some beach stuff on there, but that is a ribbed cantharus. And I do like them, so I am going to take that. Even with the beach stuff and all. Look at that calico scallop. So that is another really gorgeous calico scallop. Awesome. All right, doing some more scanning, and what do we have here? And this is so strange to me because I didn't find these. I mean, for years I didn't find them. All of a sudden I'm finding keyhole limpets. Go figure. So this is a cayenne keyhole limpet. Yes. And here is another top snail. Now, what we're going to do with this one, at the end of the video, I'm going to drop that in acid and leave it in there for a really long time. So you can really kind of see that nacre that's underneath. So stick around with me till the very end. We'll do some experimenting. And the backdrop that I have is just beautiful. So down that away, you can see a building here or there. But once you really start walking to that north end of the island, it's really just you and the beach. I guess if you really look behind you, you can tell that there's buildings, but it is beautiful. It really feels like you're out in nature. And this is an alphabet cone, like that other one we had found with the real strong markings. This one is a bit faded. However, cones are still really hard to find in good shape, so I'm going to keep that one anyway. I'm just going to keep it. And here we have a rough scallop. And the only way I really can tell these are the little wings on the bottom are different, and it is a little bit more narrow of a shell than the calico scallops, or these, the bay scallops. This bay scallop kind of has the same shape as those calico scallops, so they will trip me up a little bit. But ooh, they're so pretty. And check this out. All right, so this is a purple Tigertail, and that brown on it is the periostracum. So there you can really kind of see that purple color. And then it also has some of that periostracum. So that's what's making it kind of that brown color. So that is a hinged purple Tigertail. Equipment. Okay, so what I brought with me today is my waterproof backpack. I have my extra batteries, some cords, fun stuff, as well as water. You definitely want to be hydrated. I use this because it's reusable and I don't have to recycle plastic water bottles. And then as far as other equipment, I did bring my scoop. And what I do with that is I kind of sling it through my backpack so I can be hands-free. I can still carry my scoop. And then I sling my shell bag with my container over my shoulder. Now, the container today, I brought my bigger one because I was anticipating on finding lots and lots of sand dollars. Right now, I have one sand dollar kicking around in that giant container, and that is okay. You never know. I might stumble upon a big pile. So from an equipment standpoint, that's it. I always have to have both hands free because I Got my camera in one hand and I'm picking up shells in the other. Now, I do want to mention I do giveaways, and I was doing them on YouTube, but I'm going to start doing them on Instagram. So this is your reminder. Please do follow me on Instagram because my next giveaway is going to be through that. But for now, we're going to keep beachcombing, and what I'm doing is making sure there's no critters in there. That is an auger. And I just think those are swell shells as well. So that is an auger. And that is another calico scallop. What I liked about this guy is it's got that sunbeam pattern, but it's kind of opposite. It's lighter sunbeams on the darker shell. And here we have some of our shorebirds, some terns, and then there's these birds. They are the funniest looking. I love them. They're called skimmers. So those black birds that are kind of intermixed in there, those are skimmers, and they're called that because that's what they do. They swim with their lower part of their beak open and they just kind of skim the water. So it's always fun to see some of our beach bird friends. And I'll also just throw this out there. Please don't chase them and don't encourage your kids to chase them. These birds, they do a lot of work and they need to conserve their energy. That last guy, he just decided, all right, fine, I'll follow my friends. All right. Here we have an apple murex. Looks like the sun has come out and I'm being blessed with this lovely apple murex. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. So I'm going to hold on to that apple murex. Oh, all right. So here we have a shark eye, but the aperture is broken and I'm bummed because otherwise it's gorgeous. So I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it anyway. And this beautiful. This is another one of those calico scallops. The colors are just so wonderful. And here we have another one of those worm snails. So this is a West Indian worm snail. I pick up every single one I see. I love the worm snails. And here we have another top snail. And that is not really that golden color. So they come in a little bit of a variation. This one's a little bit more red. Oh, very pretty top snail. Oh, I'm doing that because like, man, it's not albino, it's not golden, but it is a real pretty blonde lettered olive. So we'll hold on to that too. Oh, good to know that there's still more juvenile fighting conchs for me to collect. So that is yet another one. Very, very pretty. We are marching our way down. This is what we got. Yep. No hotels, no high rises, no condos, just you and the beach. It is awesome. And this really black scallop, now probably discolored, probably was buried and soaked up a bunch of color, but I thought that was really cool. Don't typically find black scallops. Here's another one of those rough scallops. I love the peach color of this one. Oh, that is so pretty. So it's a little bit more narrow than the calico scallops, and it's got those little wings on the bottom. Here's a fancy clam. That is a calico clam, and some critter has drilled a hole in it. So a couple of people, certainly not crowded. And that's because the bunch of people that were on this shell tour have got back on the boat. I've never seen a shell tour here. I suspect they're able to come here because the tide is so high. I've never seen one of those yet. Really pretty. Okay, so that is a false shark eye. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Love it. Another little piece of garbage. So I will pick up garbage when I see it. We're going to tally it up at the end to see how many pounds of garbage I can actually remove from the beach in a calendar year. Gorgeous day. So no rain in the forecast now. It is absolutely beautiful out, and I am thrilled to be here. So here is an adult fighting conch. Look at the purple. So someone who I consider probably pretty knowledgeable said those are more on the rare side, so I am going to start holding on to those. And I really lost track of time. It was so pretty out. I was having such a great time. I know the tide is coming in. It is 80 degrees, totally lost track of time. So now I'm going to have to hoof it. I'm going to have to hoof it off the island. But that's not to say I'm not going to stop and see what other real pretty things we can find. So this is a paper fig. They're delicate, so I'll probably put that in with my sand dollar. Excellent. Another chapped-lipped person will contribute to my garbage collection. Sorry about that, but it's got to go. And here we have another one of those little Florida horse conchs. Little guys are usually like that orange, sometimes with a white tip. Real pretty. And we're back at the cut. It's like I said, I was hoofing it. 2 hours went by in like 2 seconds. So here I am at the lagoon entrance of the beach. So if you were to cut through the lagoon, I'm going to keep walking all the way around. So here we have a hinged calico clam. Oh, I don't want to leave. Okay, so it's 12:41 and now I'm kind of going to wrap around the beach. And it took an extra 21 minutes. So you can take that shortcut. Like I said, I've only done it once. I can't tell you all that much about it other than it's possible. But I wanted to admire the mangroves as I was leaving. I am fascinated by mangroves. They do so much for our islands, keeping the sand in place, providing habitats for other critters. I just think that they're really, really cool. So I had the time to at least stop for a second to admire them. So the garbage total for today was 0.9 ounces, but so far I've managed to remove 6.5 pounds of garbage from the beach. And now let's look at the fun things I removed from the beach. There we go. So Marco Island, Tigertail specifically, was quite nice. We got a bunch of jingles, some of those worm snails, one sand dollar. And some top snails, some shark eyes. I did keep a couple of those ponderous arcs, the fancy clams, the Sunray Venus and the calico clams, a bunch of olives. And this cracked me up. That little tiny jewel box right there came out of that olive right there. So that I thought was kind of funny. Bonus. Bunch of those real pretty scallops. Grabbed a couple of those pink rose petal talons, some augers, some serifs. Got a couple of those lightning whelks, the Florida Fighting Conchs, including the purple interior one and that little lip. Some banded tulips, the spiny jewel boxes were awesome. The Florida Fighting Conchs, the flat, the keyhole limpet, that piece of Junonia, the Sanibel turret. Oh, it was such a pretty day. I had myself a fantastic time. And the reason I had to hoof it off the beach is because I kind of had like a little appointment. Look at all this gorgeous beach stuff. Now, I will be telling you about this in the future, but I wanted to give you just a little preview. So I'm making some beach friends and I can't wait to share all the information with you. So we just have one last thing to talk about. So this is that top snail I was telling you about. And you can see that underneath that top kind of gold layer, you'll see it's called nacre. And a lot of the shells make these. I took that broken one that we found and I left it in acid too long on purpose because I wanted to strip away that top layer of shell just to really show you that pretty like mother of pearl that is normally hiding underneath that outer layer. So just wanted to share, thought that was pretty cool. Now let's get to the thank yous. I want to thank my Patreons who monetarily support me, and I cannot really put into words how much I appreciate you. Everybody else who comes along with me and leaves comments and watches my beach walks, I appreciate you as well. Next week, super fun. It's going to be a 2-day shelling bonanza. So until then, I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you again next Sunday.